What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and we are here today playing another episode of Aarklash Legacy. In a quick story synopsis, we had ended up in the beginning of the game being abandoned by our kinsmen, or at least betrayed. We walked a long ways, and then there was a giant arena with skeletons, and then we fought some undead guys, and then finally, we got betrayed by a big snaky guy, but we were like, hey, listen, big snaky guy, we're not gonna have that. And so we chased him through this portal, and that is the story of Aarklash Legacy, my friends. But I've decided to swap in Bolam for a little bit. My decision with that regard, or to that regard, was because I like ogre vocabulary a little bit better than the AoE taunt. And coming into this new area, I felt like giving him a little bit of love and just making sure that he's been given the rub properly, I guess. Let's head off this way. Oh, look, it's that puzzle again from the beginning of the game. That's slightly terrifying. I also need to save because I did a bunch of inventory stuff in between so that you guys wouldn't have to suffer through it. Let's continue down this even the statues here look sad. Everything in this game, what is that? Incubus of the Despot. Okay. It's got a scythe. And also a little jiggle tail. Usually things with jiggle tails are adorable, but this one I'm willing to bet is probably not so cute as he seems. Let's figure out what the hell is going on here. Oh, look, we also have little folks with pointy objects and also protrusions from their craniums. Great. So we've got hobbits on a rampage here. The Scourge Bearer. Oh, he's been stitched up. Looked like he caught a baseball bat to the forehead at some point. Let's have a look. He's doing the Miley Cyrus right there in his picture. The Anger of the Despot. Okay, he does some damage within 3 meters. Hand of the Despot. After 2 seconds, he increases his dodge chances and restores a bunch of HP to somebody. Okay, to his target. And then on activation, he increases his healing. Okay, so I guess like when he clicks it, he gets a healing buff at the same time as he starts casting or something? I don't know. A lot of the tooltips in this game are very, very poorly worded to the point where they can be very difficult to decipher at some point. It's just like the general grammar is what I've noticed, is like the sentences sometimes seem like they're being said by Yoda, which makes you feel very confused as to like what it does in what order. And he's also got a damage debuff, and he's being mentally controlled as well. So they're mind-controlled evil zombie hobbits. That's so much better than just zombie hobbits. Blow from the shadows. So he deals some damage. Okay, not afraid of him. Warrior of the Hydra. Looks like he regenerates a lot. 100 per second for 20 seconds. That is a ton of healing done. He's also got a bunch of physical attacks that are looking a little bit nappy. They could get a little bit rowdy. And mental control, everything's looking okay there. Demonic satyrs. Alright, Reaper Priest. All this stuff in the back doesn't really terrify me. I think they self-destruct and then they also fire like an AoE or something. So we have a lot of AoE fire coming in. Which means that like in the best case scenario, we want to make sure that people are where I want them to be before we go much further. And it looks like once they're there, let's go ahead and start with Ogre Vocabulary. Oh, my bad. It's been a little bit. And let's go ahead and... No, I'm actually not going to start with Mystic Star. We'll start with the Breath of Health. And so now everything else has been thoroughly accounted. Let's throw Banished Blow out to get the DPS started. So a little bit of damage off there. The other thing that I'd like to do is this increases the duration. And I believe we'll start focusing fire on the Scourge Bearer maybe. And so once that's all nice and off... There it is. Let's go ahead and DPS the Scourge Bearer. I'm going to throw out a Mystic Star on Bolam just to get him going properly. And Loris has lost a little bit of health, so who's attacking him? The Demonic Satyr. Weak. So this is one of the things I don't like about Bolam, is that I can't like drag things backwards into his little circle of ultimate tauntitude. I guess I'll just allow him to kind of eat the damage for now. Let's have Nella open up with some DPS on the Scourge Bearer. Let Loris step back a tad. And then continue on the Scourge Bearer. So there's a bit more damage done. Let's have him do Boom, which I completely forgot that he had. And so there's a bunch of damage done. And that should help us out. Who is he casting? He's casting on himself. I think that's the regeneration ability. Wonder if that counts as an increase effect, that little ticky 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 of health. Because if so, I would love to deprive him of it. I guess I can run up to there and then pop that if she can get it off in time. There it is. Well, it knocked everybody down, but that's alright. As long as it stops that heal, I couldn't care less. Or I could care less. I always get that, I don't know, I've never liked that saying because it seems like it could go either direction. Like both are equally offensive. Like, I couldn't care less means that, like, you've pretty much peaked out the non-caring, like the apathy. But then I could care less makes it kind of seem as though it doesn't really matter to you anyway. So either way has always seemed perfectly fine to me, but some people get downright butthurt about it. They're like, oh my god, my butt hurts so much right now about the way that you have phrased that. To which I say, calm down, champ. Cool your jets, Turbo. It's not a big deal. From there, I need to Nourishing Prey on... Wait, what? Sacred Feast is what I need. There we go.
I heal your wound.
And then everybody else should be back up where they need to be. I'm going to bring Lekloris up this way and start bombing some DPS down on the back lines. Just taking things nice and slow, to be completely frank about the whole thing. Just kind of trying to make sure that I target things appropriately, that I'm not getting ahead of myself. You guys know how it goes. I tend to overlook things, so trying to keep myself just properly targeting.
How did the patron get them to serve him? The guild does no business with Midnor.
These creatures are controlled by something more than magic. Their very souls are clouded.
Lakshai's become a puppet master then, controlling the Knights of Light and the Lords of Darkness in the same way he holds these Midnor. He's found a power no one in Aarklash has ever even dreamed of wielding.
Dreamed of they have done, and many have sought to sit such evil thrones. Kings and priests, warriors and sorcerers, thieves and merchants, to bind those that serve them in inescapable loyalty.
The goldmongers bound my hide to the guild for 2 decades. Lakshai's just taking it up a notch, or 3.
We are fools. How many children have mourned? How much blood has been shed? All to protect the guild's belongings.
I feel like I'm seeing like a turning point in the attitudes of all the characters, although, like, honestly, the Wheel Swords are a pretty cool organization until you get Giant Snake Man involved, and then from there he's like mind controlling everybody, which can always lead to no good. You end up with like an Invisible Man type situation where it's just like, welp, do I use my powers for good or for evil? And just about everybody is probably gonna pick the evil. He's now pointing off that way with his... It's a pinty hat. It is a pinty hat. A very pinty hat. We can go down that way towards the dead horse, or the very, very large dead dog. Or we can go off that way towards some statues. There's also some giant lightningy crystals over here. Lightningy is totally a word, and I'm going to start using it in my vocabulary. My next scientific paper, totally going to use lightningy. Oh, we've got foes. Scourgebearer, Warrior of the Hydra, Mage of Rouen. What does he do? I don't think we've seen one of these before. Sacrificial Implosion. He inflicts 500 to 700 magical damage on enemies within 3 meters. Weak. Gall of the Possessed. Immobilizes the target, and for 5 seconds, all of the targets within 5 meters become the latter. That's a... Of the latter? That seems like that's an incomplete sentence right there. I don't even know what this skill does. From what I can tell, it immobilizes people, and then after that it says, for 5 seconds, all enemies within 5 meters of the latter, and then just stops mid-phrase. I don't know. Little things that should probably be patched up at some point. Let's fall back and hope we didn't catch aggro right there, because I would like to set up a little bit more cogently. And we'll take Nilla and maybe bring her over there. Are they going to come on? Oh, they are. Weak. Okay, then. Well, let's send in Bolam, who is now going to charge the mage and knock him down to keep him from casting anything particularly unfortunate upon us. Then we'll start a taunt, just to make sure that aggro is held appropriately. He is now isolated from heals, which is bad. That means that Nella's going to have to take over for most of the heals here until I can dig him out of there. He doesn't have enough SP to do anything else, but I do want to prepare an Boom for the future, so we'll get that going in just a minute. I'm going to throw a Banished Blow down here. Just start with some basic DPS rotations. Maybe think about swinging around this way and maybe putting Windaroo over here. And what has happened here? Let's find out. Support skills blocked. Ah, he's now charmed. So apparently that spell charms people. And who is he on? He's on Wendaru. So let's step everybody else back for now. Until we get our bow lamb back. Did we get our bow lamb back? We did. Our lamb is back to bowed. Over here, what else can we do? Nella's on healing duty, so I'm a little... Actually, no, never mind. I can get... There we go. We can go with Wendaru from there. Let's start the first lightning bolt on the Incubus of the Despot, and as soon as that's back up, we'll also start an Boom, and we should be able to get a pretty good grip. Who is he casting on? Himself? Well, I'm not going to worry about him right now because I don't want to knock down all my guys. Let's make sure everybody's focusing fire appropriately, though. And then Lek Loris has got a final AoE that we can throw down the pipe. The pipe has been thrown, and pipes hurt like crazy. If you've ever been hit in the head with like a pipe that's fallen while working, ow. Hurts like hell. Hard hat zone, definitely. I have nothing else that I can pop right there for now. However, I think I can probably kill a few of these guys with another lightning bolt. So I'm going to do that. Oh, or maybe not. Alright, so there's one down. It does seem like... Oh, we killed everything down on the bottom, too. So that was actually 3 or 4 down. I am absolutely happy with this result. I have no complaints. Berserky mode. Beat him to death. He has your jerky, Bolam. He has it in his pocket, and you must extract it now by force. And so down this little guy go... You're going to do that again, aren't you? You're going to do it again. Jerky face. Well, let's see if we can pull this off. Well, almost. I mean, it's ugly, but it works. It's actually got quite a bit of HP. These guys are pretty resilient, surprisingly enough. I suppose I'm going to focus on Warriors of the Hydra last, just given their ridiculous regeneration abilities, along with their fairly sizable HP pool. It just seems like a good idea. I think I'm going to scout out... Well, we've got to pick a direction. We can go positively or negatively. This location looks like it's blocked off by brambles with some treasure. I'm probably willing to bet that that might be what these statues are for. Let's go see what's in the center of this circle over here, and then once we've checked that out, we'll see how this whole thing goes. Alright, Pinty Hat, point away. A little confused as to how this is going to work. I don't think that they rotate or anything, do they? Well, it doesn't look like they rotate. It just looks like they laser. They laser dubiously. So since they're only firing photons, I guess I'll move along. They aren't ready to be rotated just yet. What's going on over here? We've got a fire breather. That's a new mob. But everything else is looking pretty similar. Let's have a look at this fire breather and figure out what it's going to do. Bloody Bombardment. He bombards a 4-meter zone for a maximum of 10 seconds. 40 damage per second, and their speed of movement is... So they basically suppress people and deal a bunch of damage. Powerful shot that deals 300 to 400 damage. So we've got more focus fire going. I think I'm actually going to drag... Bow Lamb as far back. What's this? And why did it miss? I mean, I'm not complaining. I will accept a miss in this case, but it's just the way it goes on occasion. I'm going to start my first round of AoE, although my AoE ability sort of limited by the fact that I can't fling things around the way I'd like to. Actually, cancel that. Make sure you've got these guys. The ranged guys are going to be tough to control anyways, so let's get everybody unanimously bombarding this group. He's starting up his healing like he always does. And if I was really talented, I could pull a Swifty right here, run away and charge back in. But I don't think that I shall. Instead, maybe position right there and then pop that. Did he get the regen off? Let me make sure. He did not. So that's good. I was worried there that that actually completed, which would have been a giant, giant, miserable situation. We're now being bombarded, which means I need to get somebody into range to heal Bow Lamb because I just noticed that Nella is completely deficient with regards to her MP pool. Deal some damage there. Maybe throw out a Mystic Star to keep Bow Lamb a-rockin'. Boom is not back up yet, but I think what I'll do is maybe think about swapping him out. Is he blocked right now? Can he not do that from inside of an engagement? I guess the range. It's 5 to 7 meters is what it says, so it's got kind of a strange range. Let's kill off the Scourge Bearer first. I should probably make him detonate, but couldn't guarantee that the cast would get off in time. We'll finish off the Warrior Hydra now. Do another boom just to pepper these guys with some more damage. Let them know that they are on notice. And then everybody else finish off the final Fire Breather. He's got like a little footy apparatus. Like he's got little pokies on his shoe. Things seem like they kind of do some damage if you decide to shin kick somebody with them. He's also got like a Hannibal Lecter mask thing going on. I wonder if he has a propensity for biting. He's just a bitey little fellow. Grab the remainder of this terrible loot because our guys are pretty much epically equipped at this point. Everything that we're going to be picking up is probably not going to be satisfactory. I'm only really going to check gear from here on out if it's epic. Chances are anything we pick up that's yellow or blue quality is only going to be filler loot anyway, so why stress about it? Another little crossroads area. We have to decide whether we want to go right or down. To the right, everything appears to be on fire and otherwise immolating and crackling. And to the south, it seems like we've got a serious problem with the dispersion of electrons flying everywhere. So I suppose we'll go down this way. I prefer lightning to fire, I guess. Looks like this locality's been cleared out. That one pat must have been the only thing that was meandering about. So let's send Bolam over here. I wish he had an attack that used those daggers that are all up in his britches. My guess is that this laser, they basically point at the next statue you have to activate. Which means in this one's case, it's probably a statue super deep out this way, maybe? I don't see it anywhere. I guess I'll follow the lower road just to make sure. Oh, and we got more foes. A Mage of Rouen. So let's go ahead and have him charge the mage. Everybody else needs to find a place in the scheme of the battle. There we go. As soon as that's off, what I'd like him to do is taunt all of the melee units to make sure that they don't cause any problems. And we do have another control effect going off very shortly. Could be a problem. Maybe I'll start... I don't know. 2 Warriors of the Hydra. That should be a really short duration for him, though. I hope. Bolam, stop bludgeoning our party members. Bludgeoning your healer is not the best way to endear them to you. Just some MMO advice right there. As soon as she's in position, we're going to cancel out that heal. There it goes. Lecky G, throw off a little bit of damage right there. Ah, the other one's going to do the same thing. Well then. I guess maybe throw... Yeah. We can go ahead and throw a dot on that mob right there. Give him a little bit of the Damocles action. Damocles, that kind of sounds like the name that you would give to a Spartan who swears a lot. Or otherwise gives out curses quite frequently. God, terrible joke. Terrible! I can't even muster like a clown laugh to it. I just can't do it. Can't do it. It cannot be mustered. And this final mob, let's figure out a way to get rid of him, because he's just going to take forever if I don't. Throw Damocles back on him. Bolam's not looking so healthy. Maybe think about giving him a little old Mystic Star love. Damocles should negate out all of that he's... Well, maybe not. Commence Zanux! There goes another one. And down he goes. With a mighty explosion. A mighty pressing of the gases out of himself. He voids himself as a result of the Damocles. Over here, is that the one that could quite possibly be being pointed at? No, it looks a little low. Well, we could try. Bolam, make him point. Okay, so they don't have the angles exactly lined up. It's just kind of a general direction, like, go kind of, sort of, over there. That is where you will find the next guy with the glowing ET finger. Nothing off to the left. Guess we will head into the Forest o' Flaming. Oh, and a few more enemies. I suppose it couldn't hurt to get him charging on in and get one of them crowd controlled. After which he'll take the Son of the Hydra, taunt them down. Let me get everybody to a position that I would like.
You stupid.
Only 3 enemies, so this fight shouldn't be too nasty. Oh, they've got us pincered. I see. Well, are they all heading over there? Let's make a new unified front. We got an immobilization, so let's start Nella off with a little bit of that. We've got another... Who's over here? The Mage of Rouen. Well, the Mage of Rouen is probably a decent target to start with. However, we do have a thick grouping over here that might be nice, too. To just open up with the bombardment. I don't know. Right now, honestly, I've got a burrito coma going right now. I just ate like the most enormous burrito from this restaurant down the street. And you know, I've got the itis, that nasty drowsiness you get after you eat. So my thought process is running quite poorly. Well, Boatlam is immobilized. She should be starting off a heal so that we can get him back up and rolling. Let's just fling all kinds of abuse into the center of the enemy here and just hope that it works out. Wendaru, I guess, yeah, start hitting the Mage of Rouen. You two, just get everybody over here, kind of mess with him a little bit. Boatlam has now been controlled for 8 seconds. Do I have anything to get rid of that? No, unfortunately, I do not. I mean, I could sabotage the situation a tad. Like so, and just kind of hit the power switch on the whole thing. Then again, that is going to knock everyone down. Allow people to have a gravitational malfunction. And oh my, he is hitting really, really hard. Alright, back into combat. So let's start with an Umboom. I'm going to throw a Mystic Star off his way. We'll also get some lightning flashing, because we can. And then we're also going to throw out another AoE. And this should really, really hurt everyone involved in the melee. Yep, looks like melee is pretty much handled. I'm gonna put a Damocles on the Scourge Bearer over there. And the off-brand Kmart hope that when he dies, he blows some fools up. And it looks like we're drawing down a little bit of attention over here. Nella's now charmed, which is really, really bad. Because Nella has nukes. She's charmed for 6 seconds. That seems like Lek Loris has an issue right now. So let's get him... Is Lek Loris charmed too? How many charms can they throw out? Is it an AoE? Oh, that's what the 5 seconds. Okay, so it's like a 5-second AoE charm type deal. Fun. Really, really fun. Well, her star is back up, so let me see if maybe we can keep this from imploding on us. Finish off the Damocles fellow over here. I don't know if he's going to actually get finished. It seems like he's getting fed heals from somewhere. So let's start an actual AoE that should conclude his life cycle in the most rapid way possible. Down goes another enemy. And is the star back up? 1 second. Okay. So that's going to need to go out like right now. Sehr gut. What I'd like to do now is let's charge over to the Mage of Rouen. Knock him down. We'll start an Umboom. Nella's now blocked for some reason. She has a blockage. She hasn't had enough fiber. Deal some damage over there. Warrior of the Hydra did get his heal off, but let's throw that out to Boatlam. Over here, we will drain twice because that's what Nella can handle without dying. I get that. Like, we know your name by now, Wendaru. We absolutely know your name at this point. You've been in the party for like 20 hours now. If I didn't know your name at this point, I'd be a pretty piss-poor party operator. And boom! There it goes. Drop a lightning bolt into the center of these bitches. And then finish them off. We got some level ups going on. Finish off this final fire breather. Cool him down a notch. Please don't kill Lecloris. We can kill you first. I believe in you, party members. I believe in you. Now that we're all nice and regenerated, it looks like something bad's gonna happen up and in there. Where did this last statue point? I don't recall. Off to the lefty. So let's go ahead and see if maybe we can cut back around this way. Maybe finish the puzzle before we head on anywhere else. And then from there, the final one should be at that location. And so we got a little bit of walking ahead of us. As soon as we get down here and we finish off the puzzle, that's probably where I'm going to break off the episode. Well, we made good ground today. We almost got through this entire first set piece, which is never something to scoff at. Killed off every single mob, got ourselves a little bit of loot. Obviously, we've got some level ups to do. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. God, I didn't want to start another fight. Where did this patrol come from? I am absolutely just baffled by where this... It doesn't look like they've got any of the Healy mobs, though, so we should be fine. Charge him into the center. Have him grab aggro on as many of these cats as we can. And begin with the AoE bombardment. His SP is depleted. First heal's gonna go out from Neller. I'd also like to make sure that everybody else is focusing a target, and then what we're gonna do is we'll drop Damocles on that middle Scourge Bearer. And hopefully that'll wipe out a bunch of dudes. Start off an boom, and this should be a really, really flawless combat. If I do say so myself, while I'm assigning accolades to my own persona. And that was actually a really quick and short combat. I was worried it would turn into one of those long ones like from Act 2, where it's just like, oh my god, this fight is never ending. Every single mob that you kill becomes a giant ordeal. Cannot activate. Yes, you can. I believe in you. There it is. So we got ourselves some freebie treasure. So let's jump up in there. We've got a couple faced, well, a single faced chest. And those ones always tend to have the really good stuff. And just to spite me, they put the good stuff in the chest that usually doesn't drop the good stuff. But we finished the achievement, the quest, all good to go there. I think I'm going to break the episode off here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for the next episode of our Aarklash Legacy playthrough. I look forward to seeing you guys next time, and I would urge you to take caution out there, everybody, and I will see you next time.